We're live, okay. Oh, Ren, that TV's loud as fuck, man.
Oh, shit, my bad.
Good.
Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. And you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Everybody, welcome to the Rewind. It's we're back. We're gonna talk some wrestling. We're your host. My name's Cal Tyson.
I am the brains, bronze, and the exhausted one of the Smack Raw podcast.
Yeah, why are you so tired, bro?
Just a long fucking week.
Tell me about it. It has been. I completely agree. I've been actually getting some exercise lately. Yours
Nice.
truly. Oh man, no, it's totally gonna lead to a trip to the hospital. Because I've been taking my kids to the skate park like every other day now. If I don't got a photo shoot, my son Gavin, he's obsessed. He wants to learn how to skateboard like I did. And then DJ, he rides his scooter and stuff, and so I'm out there skating with him, and it feels good. I've been burning calories, man. But I know one of these days I'm like gonna break my leg, and then I'll be like, yeah, I should have seen that coming. So it's a precursor.
Yeah, my brother took my nephew to the skate park because he's been playing Tony Hawk and he's been obsessing about it. Took him, he was on his scooter, he was doing well, hit a couple things, fell hard, cried. We got in the car, he got in the car, he was telling me, he's like, Uncle Arn, did you see me on the at the skate park? I was doing real good, and then I fell and I hurt my PP and I don't want to do this no more.
Yep.
They ain't been back since.
That was it, man. Laying on your PP, and that's calling it a career.
He's like, I hurt my PP and I don't want to do this no more.
Hell
I
yeah,
was like,
man.
all right, man, you tried. At least you tried. That's all that matters. You tried it. Wasn't for you, man. That's all right.
Hey, we're gonna talk when we talk about wrestling here in a bit. We're gonna talk about the most recent shows. We had Double or Nothing, AEW, and then we also had King and Queen of the Ring, or Queen and King of the Ring, whatever, from Saudi Arabia. We'll go ahead and give our thoughts on that. I think I've heard a couple things about some contracts like expiring. I mean, we'll have some fun, dude. We're going to talk about some wrestling. Apparently, there was just an angle that I haven't. We're recording this right after SmackDown went off the air, but I didn't get a chance to see it. But apparently, RN, you were saying it looked like AJ was teasing retirement.
Oh, it was literally the marketing. It had the Good Brothers come out. They all looked like they were crying and shit. Like, had me going for a second. I was like, this ain't happening. And then he calls Cody out. That he tells him what he told him, like he whispered in his ear or something. He tells him they like go into the crowd, get to the very last side. He turned around, fucking clothesline him, and then beat the fucking brakes off of Cody.
That's good, man. We got the we've been pining for another moment to rival the salmon jacket Mark Henry fake retirement.
Oh, this was it.
There you go. I can't wait to watch it. I'm gonna throw.
He He's stacked the stairs up, and Styles clashed him off the steps and shit. Like he worked Cody's ass.
Oh, sick, dude. That sounds badass, man. I can't wait to see that. Oh man, I've had some pretty cool stuff happen outside of wrestling. We'll just go ahead and kill some time. I haven't seen you in a week, bro. And we had a milestone that we forget every year. It's like an annual tradition where we completely forget that our show has turned another year older. We just hit 5 years on May 17th. I knew it was in May.
I thought it was the 25th.
Wait, hold on. I got it in front of me. Where is it? May 17th, SRP birthday. I took a note like 2 years ago. Yeah, dude. Yeah, literally. Yeah. So we're another year older for the show. So we've had some weird. This show has gone through so many different versions over the years. We started as a recap show for Raw and SmackDown, hence the name Smacked Raw podcast, with myself and Rob Roode, and then I wanted to record more frequently, so I started recruiting people left and right. And then you came on, and we had some people like Sebastian and Vince and Kevin and Katie, a whole bunch of other people over the years. And then we grew to a point where then like the bubble burst, like where we just had we were doing too many shows, and there was too much stuff to keep up with, and we were all burning ourselves out because we were working essentially like a full-time gig for free. So then we dialed it back, and we did more of like a theme show, hence the rewind. Why this is like a weird labeling. Like our show has such weird labeling. We have Bret Hart introduce us to Smacked Raw podcast, but then I say welcome to the rewind, and that's because the Smacked Raw was eventually going to become a brand, and we were going to have a bunch of themed podcasts under the Smacked Raw banner. And it turned out that wasn't really something we wanted to pursue either. And so it was just you and me. You and me, pal. 5 years later, RN. 5 years later. Happy anniversary, bro.
Yep. It's 4 years for me, actually. In January,
Yeah.
It's 4 years for me. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny how it turns out the only person left is the black guy, and you're supposed to be the racist of the group.
Yeah, man. You're usually the first one to die off in these movies, man. And you're the one.
That's how you know it's real.
Hey, you're the LL Cool J. He's like the most famous black actor to survive a horror movie, Deep Blue Sea.
Because real niggas ain't running towards the danger. We're running away from it.
Did you know? I just watched the video. Did you know that? I guess the original cut had him getting killed off like super early in the movie, but test audiences like fucking hated it because there was that like evil white bitch who was like responsible for like these like super smart sharks and everything, and then she was the one who lived, and everyone was like, "This is ass backwards." So the studio changed it, and LL Cool J lived, and then that chick, went in one of the most hilarious death scenes I still remember in any horror movie, where she like cuts her hand and then dives in the water for the shark to eat her when she could have like just like swiveled her hand in the water.
Literally, because they were smart sharks.
Yeah, but who knows? You're the LL Cool J though. This is like the scenic route to complimenting you for being the smart token black guy.
Yep. Last one standing.
Ah, man. If you guys ever want to catch us live, we shoot on twitch.tv/SmackedRaw. Just put your notifications on. We're never on the same day, like 2 weeks in a row. It feels like... Tim's here. What's up, Tim? He says, yo, mi familia. I didn't know
What's
he
up,
was
Tony?
Hispanic. I like, dude, you got to follow this dude on Facebook. I'd tell you what his Facebook handle is. I don't know it. Maybe he'll put it in the chat. But I wake up, and it'll be like 8 in the morning, and dude is like live streaming DJing from his like bedroom.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he has to put it in like big quotations that he doesn't own the rights to any of the music, and he just gets to play it. I don't know. Is that how that works, Aaron? If we were just like, hey, we don't own this music, and then we can just play like Kendrick Lamar or something in the background.
I think that is how it works, actually.
You think that's how we can get by doing it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll give it a shot. Who knows? His Facebook name is Tommy Thornburg. Reminds me.
I thought his name was Timmy.
I thought it was Theodore.
I thought it was Thomas.
I thought it was Ted. But yeah, check out Tommy, man. If you ever want to wake up like first thing in the morning and see someone like live DJing, there you go. That's his thing.
I actually see that a couple times a week. My kid's stepdad is a DJ, and he does that shit on like TikTok and shit and everything, like early morning workout mix or some shit he be doing.
I got an old coworker. He live streams himself drumming at church every Sunday. He's got his phone set up and he's just drumming. The audio sounds like shit because it ain't hooked up to nothing, but you see him drumming. He says he played 7.5 hours the other day from like 3:30 a.m. till noon. Good God, bro! How many drugs were you on?
Literally.
Yeah.
What you doing? A Bonnaroo set, motherfucker, at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Good God, dude! I can't even remember the last time I saw 3 o'clock in the morning. He said two drugs. I'm assuming it's right.
I like it.
Yeah, man. He says X is his best friend. Listen, man, if there was like no repercussions to drug use, that's a good one. Allison here. What's up, Allison? She's always like throwing dick emojis in the chat. It just makes me like uncomfortable, man, when I see that stuff. But I do appreciate you, Allison.
What's up, girl?
In honor of the show being another year old, I look, RN, I kind of left you unprepared here, but I wanted to take a moment, and because the show is like, as it's grown over time, more importantly, you and myself have grown. We talk about this. We're no strangers to it. You know, we had our struggles with alcohol and mental health issues, and of course with you in the losing of your mom and your sister. And I did want to take a moment out of this. I just want to tell you, like, genuinely, I'm proud of you, man. Like, I love doing this show, and to be completely honest, like, in the moments where I thought about quitting this hobby, it was honestly just like my love for you, brother, that has kept me coming back week in and week out. And I love you, dude, and like, I'm super proud of you in the growth that I've gotten to witness, like, over the years, man. So
I
just wanted to
appreciate
say that to you, man.
I appreciate that, and I'm proud of you too. And you're the only reason why I keep doing this too. Either just a weird sense of loyalty to Monsieur Candy, like I'm Steven from fucking Django. Who is that nigga on that man? Like Now I'm proud of you too. Like, you're a big part of my sobriety. Like, having somebody that actually was going through it too, and like I could actually lean on. So now I'm proud of you too, and I appreciate you. And it's crazy how you're one of my best friends, and we've never even been in the same fucking room.
Until Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
The weekend of Juneteenth. How fitting. My most dreaded weekend of my most dreaded month. I get to.
That's how you know Kyle's not racist. He's having a black man in his house on Juneteenth.
It's like a PR stunt. You know what's even more hilarious though is I'm making you sleep in the garage.
The guest quarters, man. Sorry.
It is. No, it's this. This is technically a garage. But awesome, man. Hey, let's talk about some wrestling, dude. Let's talk about some wrestling. RN, did you have a chance to see Double or Nothing?
Yes, I've seen everything for the most part. I think the main event is the only one I fell asleep on. I never went back to watch, but what is
talking about
Stampede or whatever the
Oh my god, dude, that was so fun. That was like my favorite part of the whole show.
I know, I kept forgetting to fucking go back and watch it, and then I didn't watch anything on the day it came on, so I was like trying to cram everything in today. And that was the only thing I didn't go back and watch.
We did another watch party. I love this. Whenever AEW has a pay-per-view, we do a watch party. Will and Allison, I say we, but Will and Allison host a watch party where you get to jump in a live stream with them, and you all get to enjoy the pay-per-view together. And it was a lot of fun, dude. We were cracking up, laughing. I forget whose names, it was like Rex was there. And then I forget. Will and Allison, of course, were there. I forget this other guy. This other guy is bald like me too, but by the end, dude, like we were all cracking up laughing because at some point, like, a switch flipped in Double or Nothing, and it was like if you didn't take the show too seriously, I thought it was a riot, like, through and through. It wasn't perfect, of course,
right?
Yeah, it was a riot. The highlight of the night for me was, like we just said, the Stadium Stampede, not Stadium Stampede, excuse me, Anarchy in the Arena. I was getting them mixed up. But Anarchy in the Arena, it continued the tradition of having live music blast through the stadium while they're all fighting in the crowd. And it started, I can't remember the first song that was playing. I think it may have been Moxley's, but then they went to the Young Bucks music, and then Bryan Danielson said to put on, like, the best wrestling theme of all time. It was the final countdown, and then at some point, Matt Jackson was on the microphone yelling at the camera to turn the damn music off because it cost him $200,000 every time that song played. And when he cracked that joke, like, it was like the fucking lubricant just to let that match just be what it was, dude. And
right.
I thought it was an hilarious match. capped off a long night of wrestling. Had some interesting things happen. I'm trying to pull up Double or Nothing results while we're sitting here, just to kind of get a quick little recap of it. Let me see here. Who do we like? Cage Side Seats is pretty good, right? Well,
Yeah.
let's see what their article says. I just need the rundown of the matches. Wait, hold on. No, this is Dynamite. What the hell? This ain't Double or Nothing. No. AEW. I need Double or Nothing results. Here we go. We'll go with Yahoo Sports here. Bam, right here. Okay, so I didn't watch the kickoff show, so I saw there was like Deonna Purrazzo took on Thunder Rosa. I didn't see that. I didn't see the Acclaimed. Oh, actually, you know what? I did. I missed the first couple matches, actually, so you can kind of fill me in. Did you say you saw most of the show except the main event? All right, cool. So we can kind of like fill each other in. Will Ospreay, in like the least shocking victory of the night, defeated Roderick Strong to win the International Championship. I imagine the match was a banger.
Oh yeah, it was a dope match. Roddy got in a lot more than I thought he would. Honestly, like Will gave him some shit. Like Roddy did his fucking thing. Like that match was fucking. I didn't watch the other one, but to me that was by far the match of the night. Honestly.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the kind of the analysis is that Ospreay was once again conflicted for hitting the Tiger Driver because of injuring Danielson, which honestly was kind of undone with Danielson being involved in the main event. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? If Eddie Kingston breaks his leg, you got to have somebody come in. Wait, no, Darby Allin filled in for him. Yeah. Where the hell did Bryan Danielson come from? Anyways, that was a good match. The trios titles match. I mean, that honestly, the thing about these matches with the trios, I have to say, by this point you can kind of close your eyes and picture how the match goes, and that's pretty much what you get. Is like that frantic pace. Once again, not surprised that the Bang Bang Gang defeated Death Triangle. How you feeling about the Bang Bang Gang, by the way, at this point?
I mean, I don't really have a feeling. I mean, they are. Juice Robinson came back.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, Jay White is just another one, and they literally signed the best wrestler in the world at the time, and he's literally done nothing. Just trio matches and bullshit, like fucking around with the fucking Acclaimed and shit. Like, to me, it was a wasted sign, and I wish he had fucking went to WWE instead. And I said that from the start, and they just proved it.
What was his name it was CJ Perry, right?
Juice Robinson, yeah.
Yeah, Juice Robinson was CJ Perry, which is hilarious because that's Lana's real name.
Right.
I always thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, I like them. I think what it is if you, and like I said, look, it's. I know this is not going to be this will be a polarizing take on it. But if you don't picture Jay White as a main eventer, which I know he can be, then I think they fill their role good in the mid card. Like, I think they're a fun enough watch. I just think, honestly, like Jay White's promos can be kind of long-winded. But I get why people are upset because they were, Jay White was killing it in New Japan towards the end of his run there. And then he comes to AEW, and like so many other like supposed big names that signed with AEW just kind of got lost in the shuffle. I will say this. Out of a lot of people that got lost in the shuffle, at least he's featured weekly. A lot of other signings came on, hung out for like a month or two, and they've disappeared to like Rampage or Collision. Which it's crazy to think that you can disappear on a 2-hour show. By the way, that is Collision. That's a pretty gnarly. That says something about the program, right there.
Like I said, it just kills me because, like you said, like if that's what you signed him for, I get it. If that's what he's doing, but he's literally beat Okada. He's beat Ospreay. Pretty sure he beat Kenny. Like all these dudes that are featured prominently. Yeah, he's beating them. He's beat them all. Like Naito, literally beat them all.
But yeah, he doesn't get featured in the main event slot like almost everybody else is currently kind of
Right.
held. Well, I see where you're coming from, because he is, he does come from that same batch of New Japan main eventers and world champions, but yet, yeah, he's, got put immediately in the mid card while everyone else gets either a prominent, somewhat main event slot. I mean, you could argue Okada, he has a mid card title, but he's part of the main event.
That close
angle.
out their biggest pay per view.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I get what you're saying. He is an outlier to that group of people. We had Timeless Tony Storm. She defeated Serena Deeb. Honestly, man, I feel terrible what happened to Deeb. Man, kind of like how we talked about Thunder Rosa. There was a point in time where Deeb had all this momentum, crowd love. She had this mystique of being like this badass ring technician, and then in like seemingly one promo, stripped all of that away. And it kind of sucked, man. It's the opposite. We always said, RN, you need to shine a light on people's strengths and shy away from their weaknesses. And with Serena Deeb, feel like they did this. They did the opposite. They
did the same thing they did with Sasha. Just let her wrestle. She doesn't need to talk. She doesn't need to have a 10-minute promo. She needs to go in the ring and fucking break somebody's arm or leg and keep it fucking moving.
Yeah. You feel bad, though, because I can see where it went wrong. I could see why they made the decision, because, when you hear the context of what she was going through, that's very traumatic, like suffering seizures from a medical condition that doctors couldn't diagnose, and that's horrible. And you would think on the surface, when you disclose that to an audience, that you would gain a lot of sympathy. So I could see how they were like, okay, let's go ahead and do this. It's just unfortunate that her delivery and that crowd, the crowd could not have cared less, which is super unfortunate, because I don't know. I think what it was is, like, my theory is the crowd was so happy to see her back, and immediately she started doing stuff that the crowd didn't agree with, like right. Talk. You know what's odd? Like, what it reminds me of the most is that time Seth Rollins got injured. He blew out his knee at a house show, and he was gone for like the bulk of a year. And then when he came back, the first thing he did was he cut like a heel promo on the crowd, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, this doesn't line up at all." And so it's kind of like the inverse. Right. Of that, and it still failed. Like, I don't know. Feel bad for Deeb, though, because in a different timeline, she's our AEW Women's Champ, and everyone's like super stoked on it. But it ain't this timeline.
Nah, and the match was pretty good too. It wasn't. I mean, I don't think either one of these people could have a bad match. They definitely couldn't have a bad match with the person they were going against in this. So it was a decent match and everything. But yeah, it was just. The crowd wasn't that into it. Like, it was, it is what it is. Like, they passed their time on her just like they did on Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. What'd you think of MJF's promo?
I didn't mind it. I thought it was good. I hope we get this, like, I don't know, renegade version of him without the suits and the Burberry and shit, with the Triple H version of MJF.
The full Triple H get up, the denim vest and everything. Yeah, that was pretty neat, man. As good as the promo was, it was overshadowed, of course, of that tacky AEW tattoo that he got on his calf. Did you happen to catch that tattoo?
No, I didn't.
So yeah, during the promo, because the ongoing story, and it was lightly touched on in the promo. They could have phrased it better, but either way, it would have went the way it did because of it. Because of the intrigue, the war of 2024, right? Like, who's he gonna sign with? He revealed that he had signed with AEW, and the way he revealed it is he lifted up his pants on his right calf. He's got, honestly, like a really tacky picture. Here, I'll pull it up on stream for us. It says "Bet on yourself," and it has like poker chips, and it has AEW, but it Dude, it does not look good. It does not look good, man. Let me see here. Let me see. I'll get a image. Boom. Open and link in a new tab. Here we go. And then let's do present. Here we go. I think this is the one. Yep, that's it. Okay. Yeah, so there it is.
Yikes.
Yeah. You kind of little yikes on that. You know, it doesn't look the most. It kind of looks like a year
Jailhouse
one
tattoo.
Yeah, like a year one apprentice jailhouse tattoo, man. You know, you would think that with the money and notoriety that these wrestlers have, that they would get a higher quality tattoo. I mean, because take away the awkwardness of, like, you know, the idea that 2029 could roll around, 2027, whatever year it is, and he very realistically could find himself in WWE, and then you've got this tattoo you got to cover up. Take that all aside.
As a person that has a few shitty tattoos, that's a pretty shitty tattoo.
Yeah, man, it's not the best, is it?
No, it's pretty sloppy, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's kind of like what everybody came away talking about with MJF was the tacky ass tattoo that he got. I mean, good on you, man. Good on you. You signed and you went out and you showed your love for the company, got it inked and everything. Yeah. But dude, could have found a better artist, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was ass.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, happy that he's back. AEW dropped the ball though, not featuring him on the this week's Dynamite.
Yeah,
it's. I get that, you know, their pay-per-views are spread out, so they spread out their wrestlers and stuff. But if you have one of the biggest talking points of Double or Nothing was MJF, you should feature him on the very next episode of AEW to carry that momentum and hopefully viewership. But they decided that it'll be next week that they're going to feature him. I'm excited to see what he's got to say. So he's fueled by hate, by the way, RN. He is back to being fueled by hate. Which is interesting, man. I can't wait to see. He's fucking ripped, too, by the way.
Fucking jacked.
He is jacked. He is just full on, just doing, you know, for some guys say he doesn't need a New Japan or a Vince McMahon, he still is kind of copying the Triple H playbook from the the outfit to just coming back ripped as fuck. Which that's the best way to make your return too. Yeah. Randy Orton just did it. AJ Styles, they came back fucking jacked, dude. Yeah. Rest of the night was pretty good though. Hook had his triple threat match with Jericho. The Learning Tree Jericho. He wasn't able to beat him. Jericho retained in a triple threat that could have been on Dynamite. Yep. Fucking Edge broke his leg. His match with Aleister Black, dude. I'm okay, RN. The mask is starting to slip. This AEW shill mask, because I'm not gonna lie, in the moment, I really liked the cage match, and now that I've had some time away from it, this is actually the match I disagree with the most. Kind of like how you have disdain for what they do with fucking, god damn it, dude, why is my brain just shutting down on me?
Swerve.
Not Swerve. Fucking Jay White. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like how you're upset when they're fumbling the bag with Jay White. This Malachi Black, I'm not going to lie.
I called that. I told you.
Pack his bags, dude. Pack his bags. Go back to WWE. Because, dude, now that we've got some time, because the match was fun. Don't get me wrong. The match was fun. barbed wire cage match. AEW does barbed wire matches pretty good. Like, you know, they know how to make you kind of cringe, but also keep it safe so you're not having a guy like accidentally fillet himself on TV.
That was one of the reasons why he broke his leg, because he knew that the barbed wire was sticking straight up, and he didn't want to. He said he didn't want to slam it down into him, so he pulled up to try and do an elbow, and that's how he ended up breaking his fucking leg.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because Edge had the big spot where he jumped off the top of the cage, and essentially, like here we go. I'll show you. I'll show you just like this. This is how it went. So, he's on top of the cage. Picture this. And then he sort of just jumps, and then he just kind of like, that's it. Straight to his legs. My 36-year-old self, looking at a 50-year-old man, essentially jumped 2 stories to his feet, was like where his knees just completely exploded. Yeah. Like there's
Everybody's
no knees.
Not Sting.
Yo, I know. But yeah, so an awkward spot. You had Gangrel return and save Adam Copeland, who ultimately retained his TNT Championship. Everything that has happened since then has made me hate this match, though, because Copeland injured himself, and that was super evident, not only in witnessing the moment, but him walking off after the match. So that led me to believe that, like, as a veteran of wrestling, as long as Copeland's been around, I'm breaking my own rule because I often tell myself nobody should be telling these wrestlers what they should be doing, other than themselves and people above them. But I truly believe that he should have recognized he fucking broke his leg or something and called an audible, and somehow was like, look, let's figure out a cheesy way to get you guys like a sneaky win after Gangrel comes up, And then on top of that, what makes this even fucking worse is immediately afterwards the Bucks essentially say they're going to put the belt and just give it to Jack Perry, but
Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels comes out and announces they're going to do another tournament. Dude, if I'm telling you right now, if Malachi doesn't win that belt, fucking hands are up, dude. Just go back to WWE, bro. Like, this match was your chance to re-debut him. Like, fucking really give this dude some positive momentum and reinvigorate him. And it made him look like a doofus. Like, I ain't gonna lie, you couldn't beat him. He had
I told you, I literally called all of this, bro.
Bums me out, man. It bums me out.
They don't like. We don't even. It's just terrible booking. So I mean, all of this shit is like.
What's up, Wrestling
Like
Bros?
the only person that is booked well in AEW is Will Ospreay.
Telling you, I feel so bad, dude. I feel so fucking bad. That would have been a great moment for Aleister Black, for Malachi Black. I feel like he kind of reverted to Aleister in that match, but but it just bums me out. What did not bum me out though was the following match that preceded it. Willow Nightingale taking on a Mercedes Moné. Dude, this was beat for beat my match of the night, bro. Like when it comes to in-ring action and shit. Yeah. Oh my god, these two tore it up. It was a fantastic time.
My favorite moment of the pay-per-view is her hitting her finisher on Willow, getting that big bitch up. That was dope.
Yeah, so not gonna lie, not a fan of that finishing move. it really, I don't know if it's because of how large Willow is in comparison to Mercedes, Sasha Banks there, but
that's what it was. She was just too fucking big. Like I said, I'm surprised she got her. But otherwise, that is a dope finisher. But it just didn't look right because Willow was literally a foot taller and 200 pounds heavier. So
yeah, it didn't look like there was much impact. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, because Willow was only 2 inches off the fucking ground.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, other than like the finishing move, I absolutely adored the match. I was like, this is awesome. I still think that we waited too long to see Sasha Banks wrestle, but I'm glad that she did deliver an instant classic with Willow.
Yeah.
Once again, I hope that this story develops into Willow coming back. It is. I thought they were going to pull the trigger and have Statlander turn on Willow to kind of protect her in her loss. It's a little odd to me they didn't do that. They waited till after Willow lost for
Another
for the
former
turn.
friend feud. Yeah.
Yeah.
AEW's favorite fucking feuds.
Wrestling Bros Pod says Malachi finally got cleared to do a singles match since he has chronic back issues. Yeah, and then he lost. Oh, by the way, Gangrel looked fucking awesome too. By the way,
Yeah.
as somebody who remembers watching the Brood and then the new Brood afterwards, I fucking loved Gangrel. I thought he was one of the coolest wrestlers in WWF mid card at the time.
He runs an independent promotion, I think, in California that normally has some pretty good guys out there, and he brings people in.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen him in years, and I had always heard rumblings like he had like weight issues, but he looked good. He looked good out there. Like nothing looked unsightly about the man.
Right.
Like he looked good. He didn't even look like ancient. Like he's gotta be up there in age. He's gotta be like pushing 60 or something.
Close. I mean, he's got to be a few years older than Edge, and Edge is 50.
That's what I'm saying, because Edge was the kid and Gangrel was like the veteran, right? You know? How old is Gangrel? Let's take this a little. I'm gonna say he's 58. That's what I'm gonna take a guess. Gangrel,
I'd say around there, 56, 57.
55. He was
Yep.
born in 69. Okay. All right, so he's not quite as old as I thought. I thought he was like maybe a whole generation older than Edge, but it turns out he's just like 5 years older.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, he looked decent, man. He looked decent for 55. Yeah, he looked good. And his fangs, by the way, look way better than Edge's did. Too. Yeah, Gangrel's look pretty gnarly. Wrestling Bros says Stephanie Vokar coming out was cool as she's very underrated. Oh, the chick from AAA, right?
Yeah. AAA and New Japan Strong. She's a New Japan Strong champ and
That's CMLL.
CMLL.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't AAA. Yeah, CMLL. Yeah, the Forbidden Door stuff. We're going to cover that next week. We're going to dive more into Forbidden Door, and then maybe even touch on some of NXT's Forbidden Door stuff that's going on too, since they just revealed what's their knockout champ's name?
Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace came out and challenged for the NXT championship. I'm going to go on record right now. She should win that belt.
Yeah, she should win it. She's not going to, but
No.
she definitely should.
She should win that belt, and that will put way more eyes on NXT and TNA wrestling, in my opinion.
Right.
I think that will bring viewers over to see something so big as a non-WWE person winning a WWE belt.
Right.
That is flipping huge. Yeah, I'd say do it. Let's go ahead and keep this going. Oh, in the co-main event, Swerve Strickland defeated Christian. This is a fun match. It is what it is. This is another match you could have closed your eyes and kind of saw exactly how it was going to play out.
Right.
The patriarchy, of course, are getting involved left, right, and center. And Swerve.
Swerve just feels like they just got him. He feels like a mid card champ to me. Like nothing about him feels like world champ. Wrestling on the fucking 9 o'clock hour, opening the show, like not closing the go home show, not main eventing the fucking pay per view. Like he just feels like an intercontinental champion to me. He doesn't feel like a world champ.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, they did the same thing with Kenny Omega. You remember, because there was a lot of criticism that Kenny Omega, for the longest time, he was coming out, he was facing Sonny Kiss, he was fighting, he was facing, what's the dude's name from Dark Order, something Angels, I can't remember, but he essentially spent a long time facing nobodies. Now, granted, I don't think he was world champ at the time, but I feel like I said, I'm holding out to see what this is going to come. It looks like they just announced they're already pulling the trigger on Swerve and Ospreay, I think, is what they're going to do. I'm hoping we get like a non-finish and we get that rematch like you called for at All Out. in Wembley.
Mhm.
I think so. I'm holding out, man. I'm holding out. You've been doom and gloom since the beginning. You didn't think they were gonna put the belt on him. They did put the belt on him, and now it's you don't feel like he's getting the main event shine. I'm holding out hope, which is probably just gonna blow
And
up
it's
in
so
my
funny
face.
too. The stands on fucking Twitter, like, what do you mean the 9 o'clock hour is their biggest
Talent Angels.
hour?
Yeah,
I'm like,
hey,
bro,
I
yes,
told you that. I told you that. I was like, hey, man, maybe
I
9 is when the most viewers tune in.
I
You
get
know?
that, but at the same time, he's still your world fucking champion, bro.
Yeah, like I said, I get where you're coming from. I'm not trying to say like, but my perspective is necessarily the right one. I am just saying like, AEW has fed me just enough. They've given me just enough where I'm like, I'm keeping my faith in y'all, but you're on a short leash.
Like I said, like I understand the anarchy, but like Wrestling Bro said, like it has to be the last because of all the shit they do. But like, why did you have to do that, or why didn't you pre-tape that?
I think given how Anarchy in the Arena played out, anything that followed that match would have bombed. So if you're unhappy with the co-main being Swerve, I argue then I would have opened the show with Swerve's match. That would have been the only better one. Just kick it off. But I think they also knew that, I'm not going to lie, they probably also knew that Swerve's match was going to be kind of a stinker. Not that it didn't feel that special, and it would have been a good palate cleanser. And that's kind of what it was. It let people settle down from, it's weird.
I know, but listen to all the stuff you're fucking saying. You don't say those things about your world champ.
World champ. No, and you're right.
Everything you're saying is correct. If it was a mid-card title or a guy in the mid-card raising up, everything you're saying is right, is perfect. Yes, that's what you're supposed to do. But we're talking about their world fucking champion, bro.
So here's a question. Here's a question for you. Do you think they could have afforded to just not have him booked?
Yeah, or at least a segment or something different than. I don't know. Like I said, he had to be on the show. He has to be. But like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, and
the
even like
Anarchy. I can't picture Anarchy in the Arena. Like, I just can't picture the crowd being able to
no,
get
and I
as
agree.
invested if anything followed that match.
I agree. That's why he should have popped off the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Especially with the fact that he wasn't the last thing you saw. Like, how is your world champion not the last thing you see going off the air into your biggest pay-per-view?
Yeah, and what do you know what I'm saying? And what do we say most though? Is if you're not going on last, you should go on first.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, because you could have.
You see who went on first?
Who did open the? Oh, who opened? It was Will Ospreay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The signs are there. The signs are there, man. And we got a blonde hair, blue eyed boy opening up. Actually, I don't know if he has blue eyes. I'm assuming he does. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. And speaking of which, the main event, Anarchy in the Arena. Given all the cruddy stuff about the Swerve situation, Anarchy in the Arena, I loved it, man. I loved it. We had so many fun spots. The music stuff had me balling. I was laughing my ass off. And then Jack Perry getting lit on fire. Did you?
No, I didn't watch any. I know I'm gonna go back and watch it before I go to sleep.
You gotta see it, man. Jack Perry gets lit on fire. Darby Allin got suspended upside down, hanging there, and got like super kicked in the face, thumbtacks on the shoes, and it's like if you watch it, he eats the shot so clean. All right, it's not pulled. Like he couldn't pull. Like he eats it, and then there's a picture of him afterwards. His nose is just pincushion full of holes afterwards because he ate the shot so bad. We had a guy in the live stream in the watch party, and he was I don't know, man. He was kind of being a little bit of a coordinate, kind of trashing AEW the whole way around, but it seemed Darby Allin hanging upside down for like 5 minutes had this dude clutching his pearls. He's like, they had him hang up there 5 minutes. I counted 5 minutes. It's like, dude, all Darby Allin had to do was like this, like, hey, I'm losing consciousness, and they probably would have let him down. But each their own, man. Some people don't like seeing people take risks. Darby Allin seems to do that to a lot of people too. By the way, I've noticed. Yeah. Darby Allin always seems to be putting the Warriors, getting them all riled up.
Bro, I've seen Ethan Page throw him down a flight of steps with him in a body bag, bro.
Yeah.
Like the fucking cement steps in a high school. Like, it's bad.
It's bad. No, Darby's sick. And thank God Ethan Page is over working in NXT.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about him murdering Darby anymore.
Right.
But yeah, that was the show was good, man. AEW is a long show. It ain't the best one they've ever done, but I had a fun time watching it for sure. And I thought they capped off the night really fun. My criticism was, of course, Edge should have lost that TNT title to Aleister Black, especially after injuring himself. And then also, yeah, we got to figure out what we're doing with Swerve, because everybody loves Swerve, and I don't want to see that dude just get like a start-stop push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely losing that belt. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. Wrestling Bros Pod says Jack Perry driving around in that scapegoat bus. Dude, I'm all in. I'm all in on Jack Perry. I
told you, bro. It's fire, bro.
I don't know what it is. It's you know when we really started to like Dominic Mysterio, when he just his snooty attitude, like you just love to hate him, like that punchable face type of thing. I feel like that's the same appeal to Jack Perry now.
I told you he was killing it in New Japan, bro. Like I'm fully on board with the scapegoat gimmick and everything. I'm here for it.
Oh man! And Jack Perry is part of two stables. What are the two stables? He's in the Elite, and what's the other one that he's in?
House of Torture and
House
of Japan.
Oh, that explains it. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, I've come around. I think as like when you were like talking him up, because when I picture like New Japan, it's pretty one dimensional in my brain. It's these 6-star like ultra wrestlers, sometimes maybe a little void of personality. And
that's not it at all.
Yeah, I know, but like anytime I turn on New Japan, it's because I've heard of like a
Meltzer 6-star match and shit. I get it.
Essentially, yeah. Naito Okada, Omega Okada. You know, like New Japan from like 6 years ago. Those were like the matches I was tuning in. So like picturing Jack Perry in that environment, I was like, I don't see it. You know, but now I totally do. Like it's fucking hilarious, bro. Like I love it, dude. Yeah, I hope it's a hell of a lot better than Jungle Boy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
that's
who I want to win that ladder match. I want him to win.
You do? Yeah, I mean, if Malachi's, you need to just go get back with his wife. Go join Zelina Vega in LWO or something. Fucking get over the WWE. I want Black to win, but I got to give up on that dream. Kind of like giving up on Keith Lee. You know?
Yep.
Just got to let it go. It ain't gonna happen. It's not in the cards.
Nope.
Unfortunately. RN, did you watch King of the Ring?
Yeah.
You did? This is a decent show, right?
Mm-hmm. Everything was good.
Nothing mind-blowing. The crowd was hot.
Crowd was on fire.
Yeah. I mean, they had a tough act to follow with the crowd over in France. Because France literally had the hard cam bouncing, you know, which
France that was one of the best crowds maybe ever.
Yeah, no, they did the scene of AJ Styles, right? Yeah. The zoom shot of AJ Styles and the crowd chanting whatever they're chanting, and the camera's bouncing because of like the that is one of the most iconic like WWE scenes. I think that's going to live in like for years and years, just because it's so unique and is created solely by passion. A
crowd overseas too. That's the kicker.
Man. No, I absolutely adore that. Like I could go on way longer than necessary. How much I love just that sliver of moment in time. Fucking in the AJ in the otherwise forgettable AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes match.
Right.
Yeah, but we got the biggest talking points from this show for me personally. I know we don't need to run down this 5-match card. We know how these things are. It's practically non-canon.
Right.
However, the King and Queen of the Ring RN, we called it, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we called it straight up. We said Nia Jax, which I'm proud of calling that one because that was prior to her winning her match at SmackDown. So I feel extra good about that. Which, by the way, Nia Jax as Queen of the Ring, chef's kiss, bro.
Yes.
Fucking perfect, dude. And Gunther, dude. Gunther's gonna be world champ before 2025. Like
he's winning. He's winning at SummerSlam.
Yeah, he's got to. You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's gonna face the winner of Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest.
Yep.
Which
He's definitely winning at SummerSlam.
Calling it right now, Damian Priest is totally retaining at Clash of the Castle.
I think that's gonna happen too.
CM Punk's gonna come out there and cost Gunther. I think so. Oh, dude, can you picture the heat? Can you picture? Oh my God. I hope so. Because that's enough to fuel Gunther and CM Punk all the way to Mania, right? You'd think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Punk thinks he's going to be back by, I think, Survivor Series.
All I know is Gunther's winning the title in SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You can book that shit.
Yeah. Dude, it's awesome, too, because that's another wrestler that you and I watching years ago. We're like, dude, this dude's world champ. It's going to happen. It's he's undeniable.
Even when they get added in the shitty name.
Yeah, which now I prefer. If they were like today, they were like, hey, Kyle, do you want him to revert back to Walter, or you think you should keep Gunther? Be like, no, fucking Gunther's on the roll of a lifetime. Like, sorry, you don't need to change it.
And the King General sounds fucking fire.
King General, that's dope. Do you feel like they should have kept Giovanni Vinci?
Yes and no.
I feel like they should have kept Giovanni, man. I mean, granted, he was never gonna grow past dude who eats pins.
Right.
But
And I just thought that they were a dope tag team. Like they really were a good tag team. Like, and they had a dope tag team finisher and shit. The powerbomb into the fucking European uppercut. Like they were a dope team. Like I never got that. Like, what was the beef? Or like he had to have just not get along with one of them or something for them to completely kick him out and ship him to the other show. It had to be some sort of like backstage shit. Like that's too drastic of a fucking move.
I wonder if it was just a simple case they didn't want a tag team to steal any shine from Gunther.
Which they never would though. That's it. That they weren't like overly entertaining. Like they weren't like world beaters. Like both of them are fucking 5'8".
They really only got to shine
Because
in
of
NXT.
Gunther.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I was gonna say in NXT, like match wise.
Yeah.
That's where you found like their best matches was NXT. Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, I mean, dude, straight all the way down to like Gunther's body change too. I love it when I got to show Jess recently. I was like, did you understand? I was like, do you know what this guy used to look like? like, dude, he's lost an entire person,
Body.
like body weight wise, and he has done it in such good fashion. He doesn't have like any of the saggy skin. He looks like he's in just incredible shape, man. No, Gunther.
And I like seeing him next to Randy Orton because you never can really tell how big he is. Like he always seems like he's the same size as the person he's working.
Randy Orton's the measuring stick for body size.
Yeah, he is.
Oh man. Sorry, man. That just makes me chuckle hearing that. I forgot that's the thing that you do.
It's the Randy Orton test, man.
It's the Randy Orton test. Stand up next to Randy Orton. You'll know if they're big or not. Oh, man. That does make me wish I could see Randy Orton just walk through an AEW locker room.
It looked like he's walking through a daycare.
Yeah, man. Because once again, we've had this conversation before. I didn't realize how big Randy Orton was until he stood across from Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
For the first time. And then they were doing the whole... he was like sizing him up. Randy Orton was like flexing, like I'm bigger than you and all this other shit. And I was like, holy fuck, dude.
They're the same fucking size.
They're the same size. Because Drew, I always knew was a big guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Drew, you look at him, you're like, yeah, that's a big dude. Did not realize that about Randy. He's a big fucking guy, dude. And he's jacked as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. No, I'm happy with the results, King and Queen of the Ring. I like that Gunther refuses to wear the crown. He's like, because he doesn't want to be
that's just hilarious.
Gimmick. I love that shit. I just want somebody who's like comedic to point it out. It's like, Gunther, put it on. Just put it on for a second. But yeah, I didn't care. Do you feel like the botched pin took away from the match at all?
No, I didn't even fucking remember until you brought it up.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Apparently, it was like a hot debate for the week whether or not it was planned. Dave Meltzer actually, hilariously, he I guess wrote up his review of the match, right? And in the write up of the match, he says it was clearly planned to keep Randy Orton looking strong. But because news has since then come out that in the what's his magazine called?
Wrestling Observer.
Yeah, in his latest in the Observer, there's a news piece where he confirms that it was not planned, but he didn't go back and edit his star review. So
he never does.
Yeah, so in the same Observer, he on one part claims that it was planned, and then in a different part of the Observer confirms that it wasn't planned. So
all the things that he does, that's the shit I like the most though. He never goes back and changes it because that's how he feels when the match happens.
Yeah,
he never goes back and edits anything.
He didn't have to editorialize
it. Fuck y'all. I said what I said. Fuck you.
Yes, pretty much.
That's the only thing about Dave I like.
But King of the Queen of the Ring was an okay pay-per-view. I think the biggest positive of the pay-per-view is that it is a pay-per-view. Right. Like Triple H, this is going to be something that we can continue going. They're not doing the cheesy plastic crowns look like you got from Burger King. Yeah,
and I like the stipulation.
Yeah. Oh, that's got stakes. Yeah, they go for the championship in SummerSlam. Forgot about that. Yeah, it's dope as shit. And but yeah, there's a good 2 shows. Talk about any other. Doesn't really have to talk about the other matches. They were good matches, man. They were good matches, but overall non-consequential.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll top the night off with some of the contract rumors. RN. I think there's 3 I said that are coming up. Most notably, the one that's getting talked about the most is Becky Lynch.
She ain't going to fucking AEW. Just stop.
No, I think it's pretty. I didn't say she was.
No, I mean like that's what all the debate is about. Like, will she go there? No, she's a lifer. Her husband is there. She came up there. Like, they're gonna fucking guap her out. Like,
yeah, no.
And remember, we talked about this. The contracts are handled differently with TKO than they are with WWE.
Yeah, I think what it is obviously Seth Rollins is injured and he's taking some time.
Yes,
so
exactly.
She's like, what a perfect time to go ahead and take time off. Contract expiring. Apparently, and I wish I could source this, but apparently, she was supposed to take some time off after WrestleMania when she lost to Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Rhea got injured, so
she had to come back.
They had to come back, kind of like what Moxley does every time someone gets injured in AEW. The dude's, I don't think he's still taking
glass.
Yeah, I don't think he's still taking that vacation yet. But is her contract Natalya? All right, are we gonna see Natalya in the Impact Zone
I don't
or in
give a fuck.
AEW? You think?
I give 0 fucks.
Now, if Natalya goes anywhere, does she win a title?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like she goes to Impact.
As much as I hate her, she still will be the biggest woman star wherever she goes.
Yeah,
and that includes AEW, TNA, whatever. She'd be the biggest women's wrestler signing besides Sasha for any other promotion. So yeah, she definitely win a title somewhere else.
I think she'd be knockout champion. She go to TNA, and beat Jordan Grace for the belt.
No, she'd beat whoever beats Jordan Grace. She ain't beating Jordan Grace.
I can tell you.
Seriously, I mean, I couldn't see her.
We'll get the belt on you, Natalia, but let's be real.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly. No, she'd definitely be a champ if she went somewhere else. That's a no-brainer. But I hate her, and I wish that wasn't the case. But that is realistically like that. She definitely would win other places.
You got that wonderful canvas photo of you and Natalia hanging out right behind you. It says "Live." Fucking love I made you that picture, man.
Lean into it, bro.
And then lastly, apparently this is the one that's crazy to me. Is apparently Chad Gable's contract's coming up, and he's in like one of the most prominent mid-card angles on Monday Night Raw every week.
Yeah, again, like I said, that's why all of these people coming up and still being involved in stuff like I said, we talked about this before. Like I just think the contract situations are handled differently by TKO. Like most of the shit was like, Vince, you got a handshake, when it's done, we signed it, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like I think things are just differently by TKO, and that's why. And I think that him being in this new angle and getting kind of repackaged, sorta, I think that's like their way of showing like, hey, we got you, re-up, let's go.
Yeah, because otherwise Otis is gonna essentially kick him out of town. Because if that's it, I mean, if they were like, if they don't come to an agreement, and the story that they're telling is, of course, the tension between him and Otis,
Right.
him wanting Otis to fall in line and be a bad guy, and Otis just having too big of a conscience and wanting to be a good guy. Which, oh, by the way, I as much as I love the Otis angle, I fucking hate that Sami Zayn is the one like voicing it. Not so much as Sami Zayn is, but
Right.
like if you think about like usually what happens is like when you have who was the last person that this kind of happened for? It was Bryan Danielson. I think fucking the Don Callis family, I want to say, or no. It was one of Jericho's million factions, and it was Danny Garcia, right?
Yeah.
And it just and you had and fucking Jericho was telling Garcia to be a sports entertainer, and Danielson is like, you're a wrestler. And when you have like two people telling one person like what they are, it
Right.
belittles that one person. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like how I got the same feeling going on with Otis. I feel like I love the shit with Otis and Gable, but the like Otis needing Sami Zayn to tell him he's a good guy just makes me think Otis can't think for himself, if that makes any sense. And I don't really like that much.
Otis looks like if Sami Zayn ate Sami Zayn.
That's fucking okay. But other than that, yeah. So if Gable doesn't re-sign, then Otis probably stands up for himself, beats Gable like within an inch of his life, and then Gable fucking leaves.
I just
town.
don't see Triple H giving a dude a push that's not going to re-sign or that they're not planning on re-sign. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
He's in too big of a weekly role.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I just think that the contracts are just handled differently now that they're under different management.
See, the thing is like and where you brought up TKO, you are right. Where the issue lies is usually over in UFC, TKO's other property, like the other side of the brand. The way contracts are usually handled in UFC is you have X amount of fights, and then before your last fight occurs, that's when the contract negotiations usually happen.
Right.
And then you sign your contract, and then you have that last fight of the original contract, and you start out the new contract. In a couple special occasions, fighters may choose not to re-sign, and then usually what UFC will do, and this sounds pretty fucking cold-blooded, but they'll essentially try to set up like a squash match. They'll put a guy in there with somebody who's in a much higher ranking to essentially kind of like what Vince used to do, is he'd try to like tarnish wrestlers' value. Like remember when you had like Dean Ambrose getting beat up by Nia Jax week in and week out before Dean Ambrose got shipped out? The UFC would kind of do that. They most notably they took Nate Diaz, who would not re-sign, and wanted his final fight, and they put him in there with this guy named Kazmat, who was a destroyer and like outweighed Diaz and everything. And they were just gonna like essentially like feed Diaz to the wolves, essentially.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a story for another time. But the issue, see, the reason why that works is because between your second to last fight and your last fight is usually like a 6 month to year long.
So you got time to negotiate.
But in WWE, you're on TV like every week. You don't really have time to sit out and handle all that shit. And that's where I think like it doesn't work exactly the same for these people.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think Gable's going anywhere. Honestly, I don't think any of the three are going anywhere. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think any of the three are going anywhere. Even though we don't see Natalya as much.
No, she's on fucking NXT almost every fucking week.
Yeah, it explains why I don't see her as much. I watch NXT like every 2 weeks, which is more than I used to. But,
no, she's literally on an NXT almost every week.
Yeah. But yeah, so you don't think anyone's going anywhere, Aaron?
No,
I didn't think so. They ain't going nowhere.
Natalya is definitely a lifer. Like, come on, bro.
Dude, who would provide a cameo in all of WWE's documents?
I'll never forget that one they did on Macho Man. They had her on there because she swam at his house one time when she was 6.
Anytime I watch a documentary and I see Natalya now, I can't fucking get that out of my head what you said, and it makes me laugh. Because I think she was even in the Bray Wyatt one.
Yeah.
Recently.
For what?
I don't know, man. But
all of them.
When I saw her, I was instantly thought of you. Yeah, man, they do. She's always around. I feel like that's just what it is. Like, she's just always available for footage, you know?
She's on the Rivals show, too.
The Rival? Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
No, I'm saying she's like the panel on there when they do like the rivalries and talk about them and shit.
Oh, see, I've never watched the show. I just know.
Oh, they have like a round table, and it's like interchangeable people for the most part. Like they normally have, it's like Freddie Prinze, JBL.
Oh,
Natalya.
I think I've seen bits and pieces of that show.
Yeah, and then they have like a celebrity sometimes. Like fucking, they had what's the fat dude, Iglesias or whatever, the fluffy dude. They had him.
Yeah. Gabriel. Yeah. No, not Gabriel. Yeah, no, it is Gabriel.
Maybe it is Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, because Enrique is the singer.
Yeah,
Fluffy. But yeah. So next week we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna start trying to plan content ahead of time instead of us winging it. So RN and I are gonna take a look at, of course, the Forbidden Door stuff that's going on. Maybe we're gonna shed some light on NXT for once and their latest deal with TNA Wrestling, and it sounds like we're gonna get some back and forth there. Which, by the way, I've seen already people like pining for. I think they were called the Rascals.
Yeah,
they want that, and then people are laughing. They want to see Dolph Ziggler wrestle on NXT. The
Rascals are actually from Ohio. I've met them a couple times too at this little. They were at this promotion called Rockstar that Sammy Callahan ran with the Chris brothers.
Yeah, so
maybe I've met all of them.
Maybe you and I will fantasy book some crossover matches or appearances. You know what I mean? We'll have some fun with it.
And that's the thing on Twitter too. Everybody, all of them are asking to come, and even Drew McIntyre, he tweeted the Forbidden Door goes both ways.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then also, I think if we've got time to, what's really popular on the internet now is we'll give our predictions on who will dethrone every champ, and we'll go show to show. So 1 week we'll do Raw, another week SmackDown and AEW. We'll have some fun with it, man. So yeah, we got some good content coming forward. I'm actually going to do some planning ahead. So it should be some good shit, right?
Yeah, I'm hyped for it. I'm glad. Like I said, definitely looking forward to Forbidden Door. That's probably one of my favorite because I actually watch other wrestling promotions. So
I'll watch a couple already. All right, look, I got NXT on Tuesdays now. I actually throw it up on TV. It's all right. I like it. It's okay. It's okay. By the
I'm
way,
hyped about that too. Ethan Page. I've been calling that, wanting him to go to NXT for the past like fucking 10 years.
by the way, y'all, I don't mean to piss on your parade. Don't get your hopes up with the UFC Apex show that's coming up. As a UFC fan, the Apex is like horrible for like a live, like for like a crowd enhancement. Like I don't know, like
Yeah, but you don't got to worry about that with them because there's only like 200 people at the NXT's regular studio. It's not
but
like
but that's what I'm saying is like I don't think it's gonna translate to like more. They're gonna have to do something gimmicky, but if you're looking at the fans to add to the atmosphere, like dude, I've never seen fans at an Apex show make the show feel any better. Like it's always it stinks of like COVID, of like COVID viewing. Like whenever UFC, because UFC still holds shows in the Apex, and if you listen, all UFC fans, they fucking hate it because it. I don't know if it has to do with the acoustics or the fact that you can only fit like 50 people in there.
right.
But like, yeah, the crowd never is able to add to the atmosphere. So I hope they got something unique lined up. I hope I'm wrong, but it might not really feel that big of a deal. Anyways, all right, that's it, man. I've rambled for an hour with you. All right, how's the kennel business going? You just had me. Are you doing something with the branding, or did you just turn me on to somebody on Facebook? I don't know, like some cute, affordable bulldogs or French bulldogs.
No, everyone's asking me about that. I don't know who that is. I blocked them. I don't take no chance. Somebody stole a bunch of my pictures last year, so anytime some like random shit like that, fucking like, yeah, I blocked them. I don't even have them.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was you or it might be your brother,
No.
but that was the only reason why I accepted it was because
It looks like they just like went down my friends list and added a bunch of people. Our shit is, why would you ever heard me say cute and affordable or adorable in my entire fucking life?
Look, man, I just saw I saw a black person. It was like a black mutual friend, and the last name was Achu. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. That's probably just RN's probably got something in the works, man.
No, never. Route 4 till I die.
I'll go unfriend them, okay?
Yeah, I saw they sent me a request too a couple of days ago, and like I accepted it at first because I thought it was something. I thought it was like this rescue that we work with, and then I started looking at their shit. I was like, that looks fishy. Block.
All right, no taking. I was just trying to support you. All right, that's all it was. But how's Route 4 Kennel doing?
Doing good. We got a litter on the ground now. If anybody's interested, Pet Home or AKC. Pretty affordable. 1,200 will go as low as, sometimes 1,000, just depends. But hit me up if you're looking for a pup.
You bringing any dogs down here with you?
I don't think I am. I was thinking about it. I'll let you know closer to the time because 8 hours in a car with a dog is not
I know. Hey,
a fun thing.
I'm trying to get Jess a lap dog. All right, we'll work something out behind the scenes.
Yeah,
but
we will.
I'm trying to get her like a little tiny fucking dog that she can use as like an accessory. But anyway,
My partner's got cockapoos for sale for $300.
I'm trying to get the in-house hookup. Like I know
That is the in-house hookup.
I know we're
$300.
supposed to support each other. Oh man, no. Yeah, man. Route 4 Kennel, dude. Get the hookup, especially if you're in the Ohio area, man. Get the hookup on some dogs.
We delivered across the country, so it ain't got to just be Ohio. We got you. We can deliver it to your doorstep.
While we're plugging businesses, I'm doing photography. Right now, if you want family portraits, if you want dog photos, we'll incorporate it with the dogs here. I'm also doing a whole bunch of stuff with photography. I've been having a blast hanging out at the skate park too, getting a bunch of shots there. That's kind of like my old stomping grounds. That's actually what got me into like videography when I was like way younger, was skateboarding. So it feels pretty cool to go back to like my roots and some stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, check out my stuff. Tyson's Photography. I've actually got an official Facebook page. Instagram is still the Kai Tai Show. You can Instagram. I'm starting to upload my work there. It's little by little starting to come out on social media, but I'm really proud of the work I've been able to put out there. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Ren, how's the sobriety journey going on? So, let me bring this up really quick. This happened last week. This is off air. Off air, we had this moment really quick, and I want to apologize on air to you. So last week when we did a show, I caught you take a swig off of a glass bottle of this yellow liquid, and it was clearly a Corona label, right? But I didn't want to put you on the spot when we were on the air, so I waited till the show was out, and then I said, all right. The thing is like, I could have been direct and said, hey, what were you drinking? But instead I had to like pussyfoot around it, and I was like, hey man, how you feeling lately? Are you like, you good?
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I'm good. What do you mean? We just did a whole fucking show. What are you talking about?
That's my bad. I forgot that you drink the non-alcoholic beer. I don't know anybody else that does that, man. You muted yourself. You muted yourself.
Yeah, it's I'm only drinking non-alcohol. I'm never gonna drink any real alcohol ever again.
What is it? What's the appeal for the non-alcoholic beer? Is it the placebo, or is it you just like the flavor?
I like beer, and most of the time it's just like kicking it with the fellas and shit, like Sundays and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I got that for. It was like the playoffs and stuff. Everybody's drinking a beer. Like I want to drink a beer with the boys too, so I just drink a non-alcoholic.
Okay. Sorry. God damn it. This is. You made me have a craving for like my replacement, which is V8s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing now. This is my non-alcoholic beer. Is fucking. This is what I turn to. But yeah, dude, my bad. I hadn't seen you in 2 weeks. I was worried that
I don't mind you. I don't mind you being concerned. I'll take that. That's what friends supposed to do, man.
Yeah. Will says boosting you on YouTube. Thank you, Will.
Thank you, brother.
One of these days, I gotta like go ahead and devote like 3 or 4 hours to completely revamping YouTube and Twitch and everything, because we have kind of like slowly adjusted like our output and stuff. But appreciate you, Will. I miss you, brother. I hope you're having a good time, buddy. But speaking of the drinking and stuff, and going back to like the beginning of the show, we are advocates of sobriety and mental health awareness. Not that you shouldn't have a good time, but if you are struggling with addiction or mental health issues, we always say it's better to reach outwards than suffer in silence. There's so much damage that can be done if you're just internalizing your issues and you're not reaching out for those around to help you. I think I speak for both of us when I say that it was shocking how many people do make themselves accessible once you start opening up and allow like some healing to begin. So we always want to just say, man, if you are struggling with those things, just know that A, you're not alone, and B, you can always reach out. Hell, even to us personally, you can hop in our DMs, man. I love talking about my drinking days. Like, I absolutely do, man. I love talking about it. It doesn't bother me. And if that's how some people cope, man, let's do it. Let's exchange war stories and shit. It's pretty fun still, but yeah, man, don't internalize it, man. Don't suffer in silence. It leads to like nothing good. That's for certain.
Get over yourself. Get over your fucking ego. You're not the only person in the world with problems. You got people on your side.
Yeah, that is the truth, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, RN. Once again, I'm proud of you, brother. I love you, man.
Thank you, bro. I love you too.
And to you guys, thank y'all tuning in. Will, Wrestling Bros Pod, Allison tuned in. Tim, Terry, Thomas came through. Theodore, Teddy. We'll be back next week. Maybe Thursday, maybe Friday, maybe Tuesday. Who knows?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Follow us on Twitch. You can just turn your notifications on, and you come hang out with us. But until then, y'all have a good one.
See y'all next week.